皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So today guys, at the time of the recording yesterday, I actually was very honored to meet the very famous Aoi Tayu-san. So if you guys remember, I made a post requesting for questions for Aoi Tayu-san actually, and I was able to actually meet her and ask her a lot of questions and make an interview video, which is called the Voices from Japan series in my channel. And in this podcast here, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about, basically, in the main video, I won't be able to talk about how it was, actually meeting her, how I felt and, how it went and everything. So I thought I could make a podcast here. I'm pretty sure the podcast will be coming out before the main video does. I think the main video will take a lot of time for us to get there, in terms of editing and everything. So it'll take a lot of time. But I thought I could talk a little bit about how the experience was. So to make a long story short, first of all, it was great. It was wonderful. I'm being very, very honest with you guys, especially here on the podcast channel. I say everything that I want to. So I just wanted to say everything was really, really wonderful. Especially the parts that I really felt was wonderful. I mean, you do definitely need to take a look at the main video. I will eventually be coming out to understand exactly everything I'm going to be talking about. But basically, the parts that I really liked about Aoi Tayu-san is that, I think I need to explain just a little bit about the history in order for me to explain about this, actually. Yeah. So let me quickly explain. First of all, a lot of people misunderstand Oiran and Tayu to be the same. But Oiran were basically, again, prostitutes, right? They were the top of the usual prostitutes. And Tayu, and also Maiko and Geiko are different as well, or Maiko and Geisha you usually say in English. So to make a really long story short, Tayu were basically the entertainers for the nobles, the aristocrats in Japan. And on the other hand, again, usual Oiran were prostitutes, and Maiko Geiko, they were entertainers for the commoners, the townspeople. Because again, I've explained many times on videos about the history of Maiko, but basically Maiko were people who entertained the origins of their existence. Basically, the people who entertained tourists who went to famous famous shrines in Japan, like the Asaka Shrine or stuff like that, right? And there were a lot of tea houses that served tea and also some dango dumplings to the tourist travelers who came to the shrines. They built a lot of the tourist spots, basically, for people to use some money. And in order for those tea houses to attract more customers, they started to raise the maiko. Yeah, and the Maiko eventually became the Geiko. And then from there, they eventually started to hold parties specifically for meeting the Maiko and the Geiko. Yeah, as the culture basically, got sophisticated, through what they need to train in, like with their singing, their dancing, and so on and so forth. So that was that. But the Tayu was originally for the aristocrats and the nobles. So they actually had a very high social rank in society. And the reason why, by the way, you hardly hear of Tayu today, right? And we Japanese people, even a lot of Japanese people can't decipher, the difference. It's distinguish the differences between a Tayu and an Oiran. Basically, everyone thinks it's the same. But the reason why is because, again, if you guys remember when I talked many times about the Bakumatsu period, the end of the Edo period, when Japan basically started to westernize and everything, that was the timing when the emperor of Japan actually moved over to Edo, which is currently Tokyo, right? Because Edo became Tokyo, that was a timing when the emperor, although the emperor family, the imperial family, lived in Kyoto for more than 1,000 years, that was a time when he moved over to the new capital Tokyo. And even now, that's where the imperial family lives, right? So because that happened, all of the aristocrats and nobles all moved over to Tokyo, which means there were no customers left for the Tayu to serve. And that's the reason why the Tayu culture started to decline, got forgotten, started to get lost. Yeah, and that's the reason why there are only 4 Tayu left in Kyoto today. In the past, by the way, there used to be around 40 to 50 Tayu all the time. But right now, there's only 4 Tayu. Yeah. So you can basically imagine, easy way to understand it is that basically Oiran, Maiko, Geiko, all of these women entertainers were basically who admired the Tayu. And they all wanted to be like Tayu, so that's the reason why they dress up like them. They learned some of the same skills like them, like the dancing, the singing, the instruments, and everything. So everyone looked up to the Tayu until that westernization happened in Japan. And once that happened, all the tea houses, or the okiya that existed in Kyoto, there was a city. There's still a district in Kyoto called Shimabara, which is the place where the Taiyus live. But again, there's the 5 other entertainment districts called Hanamachi or Kagai in Japanese, right? Which is the places where the Maikos are. It's the Kamishigen. It's the Kamishigen, Miyagawa-cho, Gion Higashi, Gion Kobu, and Pondocho. These 5 cities. And in the past, it was actually considered. It was called the 6 flower districts, by the way. Hanamachi literally means flower cities. As the 6 entertainment districts. But today we call it Gokagai, which means the 5 entertainment districts, because Shimabara has basically been forgotten because of the major change in where the imperial family, where the nobles, aristocrats live, unfortunately. So that was really, really interesting to learn about. First of all, the history part that I learned from her. But again, the best part about her, I finally get to talk about this because now I've explained about the history. The best part about what I really liked about her is that she said, in order to become a Tayu, she said that I want people who, if they want to be my successors, for example, she said she wants them to at least go to high school. If they could go to university, maybe if they even could go, maybe do some part-time jobs or actually start working or stuff like that. That would be even better to become a Tayu, because if you become a Tayu and you, for example, don't know anything about the outside world, that would be a big problem, because Tayu are supposed to be the top rank of all forms of entertainers in Japan, all tops of Geiko, Maiko, everything. They need to be on top, so they need to have a lot of knowledge and experience too. And I think I really like that part. Also, she also said that the young girls who are in training to become a Tayu are called Kamuro. I think you've heard or seen them when I talked about oiran too. Yeah, there were small girls, young girls that were trained to become an oiran as well. Basically, that was a system that they mimicked, I guess. They took from the Tayu culture. Yeah. So there were young girls with her too when we did the video filming. It was great. They were in elementary school and they were really, really cute girls. But she was saying that although in the past it was a rule that if you become a kamuro, a young girl that was basically, serving the Tayu, helping her do do everything, like daily chores and everything, and you learn through the Tayu as you grow up, and eventually you will become the next Tayu. Yeah. But she was saying that today no one, she doesn't force the young girls to become a Tayu. They could just learn the basic, manners and etiquettes during being a kamuro, and they could just quit from there. It's up to them. Yeah. And all of these things I thought was really beautiful. And why I say so is because compared to the world of Maiko and Geiko today, the world of Maiko, there was a big problem going on due to that tweet that was made, right? Revealing the true side, the dark side of the Maiko world. And it was one of the problems that were picked up basically were that the girls who become Maiko need to go into the okiya, the Maiko houses, when they're 15 years old before they know anything about the outside world. Any later than that, you will not be able to become a Maiko. And once you go into the Maiko house around 15 to 16, you'll train for 1 year as a trainee, and then for the next 5 years, you'll train as a Maiko to become a Geiko, and basically you train to, without knowing anything about the outside world. Because right after graduating, middle school, you go into an okiya, so you don't know anything about the outside world, right? And also, there was a lot of people saying that the problem with the Maiko world is that because it's so closed, the Maiko aren't allowed to even have cell phones. They're not allowed to go anywhere. And if they say, for example, they want to quit being a Maiko or give up trying to become a Geiko, fully trained entertainer at some point during their training, they will be very harshly scolded. There were a lot of testimonies on the Twitter account there, that made the first tweet that revealed the dark side of the Maiko world, saying that they were literally beaten, they were yelled at for hours and hours and hours, saying because they said they wanted to quit. It was just way too scary to say so, and everything. And compared to that, I really felt that because the Shimabara, which is again the district where the Tayu lives today and has lived, is because the culture has, what should I say, has almost been completely almost completely disappeared. They're so, what should I say, much more open-minded, and willing to change in order to survive. They're much more humble, if that makes sense. But compared to that, because the Maiko and Geiko world didn't take any damage when Japan westernized, because their customers were the commoners and townspeople, right? Yeah. So basically, the townspeople and commoners won't disappear even Japan westernized. So they didn't take so much damage. So now that they've, again, it's the same with any traditional culture in Japan, but now that because they have so much history and so much experience of being a entertainment district, an important place in culture of Kyoto, they have just become so, should I say, aggressive, in so many things. This has to be this. This must be done like this, and the reason is because it has been like that. And that's it. There's no logical reason, reasons or explanations behind that. But compared to that, I really felt that it's really beautiful how Tayu-san, explained to me that it's great. It's much better that a person who wants to become a Tayu to know more about the outside world and then come back to go into training, and it's never late to become a Tayu. Yeah, because again, unlike the Maiko Geiko, who needs, well, Geiko, you can be any age, but unlike the Maiko, you don't have to be a young girl in order to be one, or you're not a oiran or a prostitute, obviously, so that your age doesn't matter. What matters for a Tayu is your skills of art, dancing, singing, instruments. This is the field where you shine. Right? Again, if the Michael world, no one knows. I cannot confirm. I'm not an insider in the world, but a lot of people have been saying that they've been sexually harassed, right? Sexually harassed. So, for example, if there are some very bad okiya or mothers of the okiya Maiko houses that, for example, provide the Maiko for sexual services, that is very unfair and is terrible, right? Simply. But Aoidayu-san, again, she literally says that you can leave this world if you want to and come back anytime, and you can become a Tayu at any age if you're admitted by your senpai Tayus. Yeah. So I really think that that's much more straightforward, much more honest and clean and everything. Yeah. So that was probably my biggest positive, what should I say, good impression. Yeah, I only had good impressions, by the way. I don't have any bad impressions at all, but I think that was the best part of it. Out of all of the positive energy that I received from Aoi Daisan, I think this was one of the best parts of it. And I really felt that it's beautiful that she's really focused on, constantly, what should I say, improving her skills in Japanese traditional culture. And she's really focused on it. There's nothing that's blurring her sight, And if she's going to be, raising the next generation, which she already is, by the way, she is raising the next generation. I think it's really nice that, they really get to seriously focus on the art and nothing else. No, there's nothing scary, behind all, just like the Maiko and the Geiko world. I say this because, like, you might think, well, Shogo, you're not an insider. How would you know, insider? How would you know that the Maiko and Geiko world, and how do you know what Aoi Sensei is right, for example? Like, how would you know? She only talked to you in an interview. She could just lie if she wanted to. No, I've actually talked and met dozens of Maiko and Geiko before. And how they spoke to me and how Aoi Dayu-san spoke to me was completely different. The atmosphere was completely different. I could easily tell that Aoi Dayu-san was absolutely not hiding anything. She was speaking from the bottom of her heart. All of her wishes, her dreams that she has for the future. Yeah. Whenever I interviewed, for example, or talked with, or for example, worked as a interpreter for Michael Geiko before, they're constantly like, "Is it okay if I say this? No, let's not say that. Okay, so that's maybe someone senpai might be angry if someone sister, we call it onesan, by the way, which means older sister. Someone onesan might get angry. Okay, let's not say that. Okay, let's say this. Read this line in this paper." So I think, and that's the interview. That's the interview and interpretations I did with Michael and Geiko in the past. That's how much restrictions they have. They have this paper. They have, they're like, scribbling lines on it and saying, "Oh, we shouldn't say this one. This isn't a good idea. Probably this okasan or nesan will get angry," that kind of stuff. But Aoidani-san is sitting there, just talking with me as if we're just, good friends or something, and it was completely different. So I really, really felt, we were joking, half joking, I guess, saying that maybe if my daughters, Hinata and Nagi, if my daughters wanted to, for example, become a Kamuro someday under Aoidai-san, she said she'll be happy to train them. I might be a little bit strict when I'm training them, yeah, but it's definitely worth it, and it'd be great if they can do it someday. And seriously, I thought it'd be a great thing they can do. You would absolutely be able to learn the manners and etiquette and everything, and it's a great experience. Not everyone in Japan gets to become a Kamuro, right? I think it's a great should I say, opportunity, I think. So yeah, I was joking in the beginning, but seriously, I am really considering it. Yeah, if Hinata or Nagi are interested, I won't force them to do it, but if they're interested, I think that would be a great option for them to learn more about it. But anyways, to make a long story short, yeah, just shorten it up a little bit. It was great meeting Aoidai-san, and if you ever have a chance to come to Kyoto, and if there's any events, or she actually has a YouTube channel, if there's any way you can find to support her, I would really wish you could do that for her. Her dream is to bring Shimabara, the district, again, as important as the 5 other districts today. We say the 5 districts today, the 5 entertainment districts, but her dream is to bring back the original term, which was the 6 districts, right? That is her dream, to revive Shimabara. So I really want to support Aoidai-san from now on as well. So then everyone, as I always say, the ultimate goal of my life is to make all Japan lovers' dreams come true. So I know there's a lot of people studying Japanese willing to come to Japan to travel, study, or work, or even train our traditional culture and such. However, I am very afraid that Japan will not be able to make everyone's dreams come true in the future because we're facing a lot of social problems, we are losing our traditional culture, and the younger generations who are supposed to be carrying on the good things about Japan are dying because of all the social issues being shoved against them. So I really want to dedicate my life to try to make Japan a better place. I want to try to solve the social problems, preserve and evolve traditional culture, and also help out the younger generations so they can have a brighter future. And to do this, the nearest goal I have right now is to achieve 2 million subscribers by January 2023 on my main channel. So all likes and comments help to boost my viewers. New viewers have never seen my channel before, so it'd be great if you can help me out. Thank you so much, guys. So basically, the dream that Aoidai-san has, and my dream, of reviving or preserving, evolving, Japanese traditional culture, it's exactly the same. I'm not a professional like she is already. It's still a beginner in all the things I train in. But the passion that we have, I definitely feel that we share the same passion. And just like Yamada Sensei of my No Theater, maybe it could be Shizuki Sensei of my Harumi's Japanese traditional dancing sensei, there are, those passionate people in the world of Japanese traditional culture, in Japan too, who are struggling to make change in this world, who are fighting against the, no, that's not how it's supposed to be atmosphere that's going all around in Japan right now. Yeah, there are people who are fighting for it, and I really want to be one of them. And I really thought that, getting together with these people, cooperating, that's where I was looking for. Cooperating with these people is really important too. So I think I will continue to meet new people and find the people that I can help or could help me. We can help each other to make Japan a better place, because it's definitely going to be a really difficult task, right? It's not easy to make a whole country or whole culture change or improve and everything. But if we have a strong bond, if we can work together, I think we can make a change. So I really thought it's important that I get to meet new people, and talk with them and such. So I'm really looking forward to the next Voices from Japan series. I might be filming in the near future. I don't know when yet, but anyways, thank you so much for listening, guys.